Well, hello there, fellow amp builders. I wanted to show you something today concerning some discussions I read about rectifier artifacts propagating through the heater winding into the filaments of the tubes and perhaps modulating some distortion that way. So, what we have here is an HO amplifier and standby, and that is the heater winding output taken from one of the 100 ohm resistors, the virtual ground, virtual center tap. So in standby we can see a little flattening here, but basically it's a sine wave. Now we put the amp in the ready mode. You can see some flattening of the tops of the sine wave. This indicates that the transformer core is having trouble supplying current to both the high voltage supply and the filaments. It's a sag, a saturation perhaps of the core. And here we can see where one of the diodes is switching on, starting to conduct, and during the conduction period the voltage is dropped. And when the diode switches off, we see a little transient here. And the conduction period is much shorter than half of a cycle. It looks like conduction periods for this power supply is about 25% of the cycle. So, in a nutshell, the rectification process is affecting the heater output significantly. I had trouble getting my modeling program come anywhere near close to this flattening, this amount of flattening. Now the real interesting part comes when I put a signal, a sine wave input, into the amp. I'm going to start with 400 Hertz and slowly bring up the master volume. And what we're going to see is how the input signal is modulating the heater winding output. And back off the master volume, and that modulation goes away. And bring it back. Now, if we change the frequency, the input signal, we can see the beat frequencies between the 60 cycles per second and the input frequency, 274 cycles per second there. It's pretty close to 240, which would be a harmonic of the 60. If we bring it down to 240, went too far. 47. Alright, what I really wanted to show you is when we get it down to like close to the E, 80 Hertz cycles per second, what's going to happen to that heater current output? It's just got to be playing hell with the bass frequencies and the low E and A, and causing probably, if it's modulating, it's modulating the heat output, the thermal output of the cathode heaters, which might be affecting the whole tube. So I think that pretty much wraps up an argument for using a separate filament transformer. And that's what I wanted to show you. Have a good day.